Have you ever done that thing where you look at someone else's screenshots of Far Cry 3 and just think, well, why doesn't my game look that good? Why aren't my colours as vibrant? Why aren't my shadows and highlights as interesting? Why isn't the textures kind of popping the way those screenshots are? Well, the answer is actually that you can. With a few easy tweaks, you can get your screenshots looking as good as theirs. So what are we going to do? Greetings, my name is The Adipose, but you can call me Addy, and over the next couple of minutes I'm just going to show you how to get up and running with SweetFX, and then we're going to dive into the game and have some fun with some presets. Now this is not going to be a very detailed look at SweetFX because I've already done that before. If you head onto my channel, and please do subscribe if you like the stuff, scroll down about halfway and you've got this SweetFX tutorial series here where I go properly into detail about what exactly SweetFX is, how it works, how you can use a configurator, which is like a graphics interface for it, how you can tweak it, and with loads of examples from lots of different games. So if you're interested in finding out exactly what SweetFX is, check out this tutorial series here, because I'm not going to go into that kind of detail in this video. But very quickly, just in case you have never used it before, type SweetFX into Google. Click the first link, which will take you to here, which is CJ, who's the maker of SweetFX, is a kind of homepage for this. And if you scroll down, you'll see all of what it's all about. You'll see these lovely screenshots from various games here, and you've got the download links here. You click the download, and you'll get a zip file. A zip file will unpack and look like this, and you'll have a whole load of files in them, which you'll need to select all of and paste into your Far Cry 3 directory. If you want to get there very quickly, you need to find your Steam directory. Mine's on my game drive, but yours might be different. Once you're in Steam, you need to go to Steam Apps, Common, and then you've got the list of all the games you've got installed here. So Far Cry 3. Don't paste it here because there's no exe file here. It needs to be where the exe file is, which is in the bin folder, and then you just grab everything from this zip folder, including the SweetFX folder, and you'll just pull it across and release here, and it'll copy in, and that will have installed SweetFX for you. Now SweetFX will only run in DirectX 9 rather than DirectX 11. Now there are some people online that seem to have got it working with DirectX 11, which is great. I haven't got it working with that myself, and there seem to be a lot more people that have had success with DirectX 9. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to go into game. You're going to select in the video options DirectX 9 instead of DirectX 11. You're then going to come out of game, and then I suggest you actually at that point restart your computer. I was having some issues with it, and other people have had issues with it, and one person on a forum suggested after you've made that change, before you reload it up again, you then restart your computer, and then it's more likely to have picked up that change properly. But when you go back into game, double check and triple check that it's DX9 before you start making some change settings. If you find you've got any issues with running Far Cry 3 in DX9, because I found that it kind of crashed and stuttered quite a lot in DX9, I've made a quick video on how to fix that, so do check that out if you have any issues. If at any point you want to remove SweetFX from this bin folder, you can just use the zip. There's not that many files, and you can literally just work out what they are and delete them manually. It's these SweetFX ones here, and there's shader and injector, and then a couple of ones beginning with D at the top here. And you can just pull them out. Now, but the file we're particularly interested in is this one called SweetFX settings. And if I pull that up here, we can see lots of this is basically the graphic settings we're going to have running in Far Cry 3 at the moment. And you can basically turn them on, turn different settings on and off, different features on and off, and then tweak them. Once again, see my previous videos if you want more detail on that. what we're going to do is we're actually going to go onto the web and we're going to find some of the presets for Far Cry that some kind of visual experts have made. I've got 3 recommendations for you. The first one is SFX settings database, and I'll put the link in the description. And here you've got presets for loads of games, including Far Cry. And if we come down to the games list, bottom of page 2, Far Cry 3, and we've got a bunch of presets here that we can use. We've also got one here from GSN Gaming by a guy called what did he call himself? Omnipotus. And again, I'll put the link in the description. And this is his presets, and he's explained what he's done again with screenshots. And personal favourite of mine, Jim 2.0's Ultra settings. He's got loads of games on his website, which is whoisjimothy.com. And down the bottom we've got Far Cry, and again we've got his SweetFX settings if we click here. Now the way you get these into your particular game is you then select their settings. I've used to use Control A and then Control C to copy it. Load up the file from the bin folder. Select all of it and paste over it. So that means now what we've got here is Jim 2.0 settings instead of the default ones. And then we'll save it, and then when we run the game it will automatically be running that. And even when we're in game we can actually then tab out and change the settings and use someone else's presets, which is what we will be doing. So the presets I'm going to be showing you here are Jim 2.0's, and that's not to say that his is the best, just to say that this is the one I personally like using, but this is the beauty of SweetFX, is that you can tweak and use any kind of presets that you like. Now let me tell you about some of the effects we've got running here. The first one is the SMA anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing is a kind of a tool and effect that makes the jagged edges, jagged diagonals, look a lot smoother. And as I toggle SweetFX off and on here, hopefully you'll see that the blue tent in the distance and the red hut in the foreground and the blue box in the foreground, as I'm turning it on, will become a lot smoother. I'm not sure how well the effect will show up on YouTube once I've uploaded it, but trust me, they're starting quite jagged and then smoothing out a lot as SweetFX is turned on. The second effect we've got going here is we're adjusting the gamma. We're pulling down the shadows, which makes the areas under the hut get a lot darker. We're pulling down the mids just a little bit, which makes the trees feel a lot richer. And we're taking the highs, the very light sections, and just pushing them up just a little bit. This gives the effect of making the image a lot more diverse in terms of its lights and its shadows. This effect is of course even more pronounced when looking at an indoor or a dark scene. As you can see here once again while I'm toggling SweetFX on and off, when it's on, the shadows, the darker areas of the room become so much kind of more moody and mysterious, and the bright areas of the room, the candle areas, really kind of shine forth, and that kind of glowing of the candle now is really lightening and darkening the room as it flickers kind of on and off. It just makes the game feel so much more kind of moody, mysterious, and a more just an interesting place to be. But again, it's personal preference and you can tweak it exactly as you want. The other effect we've got running here is called bloom. Now what this does is it makes lights bleed into their environment, especially bright ones. Now if you look carefully at the red lights here, you'll see that as they're always a little area around the light is red as well, but as I turn SweetFX on, you'll notice that red area gets slightly more intense and slightly bigger, so that the actual effect of that red light is bleeding or blooming into the rest of the light as well. This again makes the light so much more interesting, and things like the sun and the clouds will kind of have a bigger impact too. Lastly, we've got some sharpening on, some luma sharpening, and if you look at the texture of that backboard, you'll notice as I turn it on and off that when it is on, the texture looks so much more rough and vivid and real than it did before. Now of course you don't want too much, because that will everything will kind of look kind of too pixelated, but just adding a little bit can make that image feel a lot more vivid. So try it yourself. Use someone else's preset or create your own, but have some fun using SweetFX on Far Cry 3. If you would like some more detail on how to use SweetFX and tweak the settings further, then do check out the rest of my SweetFX series. I will link them in the description below. And if you're interested in catching up with more episodes of Far Cry Mod It, then do subscribe to the channel or follow me on Twitter, where I'll be releasing my next videos. Thanks so much for watching, and take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.